Hello everybody, Roger here again. It's early August, and in August Sointala has our local Salmon Day festival, and I'm here in downtown Sointala and I'm going to show you the Salmon Day parade. So let's see what happens during Salmon Days here in Sointala.
Thank you a little bit, okay? Happy Salmon Day! I'm sorry.
And the day has just started here, so there'll be more people showing up, but Salmon Days today is held up at the Arnold Grosnick Park, which is up on Villains Road above the Hall Hill. And there's vendors, live music, and there's going to be a beer garden eventually here. And this is where people hang out on Salmon Days. So this is a history of Sointala Salmon Days from 1974 to 1986. So way back in the days when I was growing up in Sointala, we used to have the Salmon Days across from the graveyard, and that's where this location is. These buildings no longer exist anymore, but this is where they would, and they still do this today, they They barbecue the salmon that they sell at Salmon Days every year. I'm not going to be sticking around today for that because I'm actually allergic to fish, but
Are they allowed to do that?
I just want to show it to you.
The salmon?
A
Whatever.
little history of Swantila Salmon Days. We used to have the Salmon Day Queen. Here would be the queens that used to get voted in every year. And then down at the old ballpark there used to be an oiled up pole, and if you climb up to the top there would be a money prize at the top. Pretty neat.
Just all the grunting.
It's July 29th, 2025, and supposedly there was a massive earthquake off of the Russian coast, and we've been issued a tsunami warning. So apparently there's a tsunami supposed to hit us. So I'll let you know when I know more. So I'm just listening on the radio and any updates about this tsunami that's coming. It's approaching 9 o'clock here, and it is supposed to be hitting Hawaii pretty soon, and it's only supposed to be maybe 3 feet that they're expecting there, and it's only supposed to be maybe around 1 foot when it hits us, and it's going to be low tide, so it should be pretty safe to watch from the beach campsite. So I am going to go there at around 10 o'clock ish tonight, because it's expected to hit the shores of northern Vancouver Island around 11 to 2 a.m. And yeah, I'll see if I could capture something from a safe position, of course. But yeah, it should be safe enough to observe as it happens, and hopefully I catch something. So it's 10:40 p.m. and there is starting to show signs that the first wave is hitting Hawaii, and it's not expected to be very big, but there are signs of like strong currents that they're mentioning on the radio. So I am on my way out to Rauhala. I'm gonna sit by the beach side. Unfortunately, it's dark. I don't think I'm gonna see much, but I will see what I could capture when something comes through. It should be pretty safe. The tide's out low, but I'm still going to be observing from a safe distance up on top of the hill. So yeah, let's see if I can capture something. So I'm out here at Rauhala, and I'm just at the beach campsite staring at the water and listening to the radio. Some signs of the water is receding already. So the first wave is about to hit Hawaii. And it is now 11 p.m., so I'm assuming I'll start to see things within the next hour here, and they expected to see something interesting by midnight. So I'm gonna stay up and see what I see. And just outside the truck door, there's a deer walking on by. And you can't really see the water, but it's nice and calm out here at Rauhala, a place of peace. I'm expecting that it'll probably be a surge of some sort. Maybe the tide will go out a bit. I'm not sure. But I'm going to stick around and see what happens. So, from the beach, everything is very calm. I'm still at least half an hour or so away from maybe what the initial part of this is going to be. And I'm sorry it's all black out there. There's nothing to see. But if something happens, I'm pretty sure we will hear it change from this peaceful sound of nothing but the waves just gently washing the shore to some sort of loud crashing and disturbance. We'll see. Okay, it's 12:09 a.m. and I don't hear any waves at all now, which is kind of odd because you usually hear a little bit of waves. It's pretty calm. So it's July 30th. I'm over here in Port McNeill. The tsunami hazard has been lifted. Nothing really happened. I stayed up until just after midnight and I didn't see anything special going on, so I was like, I need to go to bed because I have to catch the first ferry in the morning and go berry picking in Port McNeill. So I'm over here now and I'm picking thimbleberries again. I just want to point out that our weather has been so dry lately that the thimbleberries and salmonberries are all starting to wither and wilt. It's kind of scary. Wow, I've never seen anything like this before. This is the first year that I've seen the thimbleberries just wilting away from the heat. The berries are literally dehydrating before they even ripen. So it's going to be a pretty bad year for thimbleberries. So it may be a not so good year for thimbleberries, but it's looking to be a really great year for huckleberries. Look at all these huckleberries. I already got about 2 buckets today. I got almost 2 whole buckets of huckleberries, so pretty damn good. And I'm just gonna go check out the jam stand. Looks like someone's been in here. And yep, there's some jars missing, so let's see what we got. I don't keep cash in here overnight like the sign says. So I check it throughout the day, or we check it throughout the day. Looks like there's about probably $30. Nice. Sometimes we get quite a bit in here. Another beautiful twilight evening just before dark here at Rauhla. And I don't know if you've seen that, but there are bats out tonight. It's not every night that there are bats out. It's about middle of August here. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of bugs for them, but there was another one that just flew by. And they're out hunting for bugs. Oh, there were some bats there. There's another one. Now, a neat thing about bats is they use echolocation, so they're making these high-pitch noises. There was one that just flew by right there. That one was pretty close. And so they could detect in the dark when there's a bug flying around. So if I throw a pine cone, well, a spruce cone up in the air, they'll think it's a bug and start flying towards it. So let's see what happens here. Ooh, one came checking it out. Hello everybody, it's another day over here in Port McNeill picking thimbleberries, and it's the beginning of the blackberry season. They're just starting now, And it's the end of the thimbleberry season, so I'm going to pick whatever I can for the thimbleberries and get started picking blackberries. And these are Himalayan blackberries, Rubus armeniacus. And they are actually an invasive species because, as you can see here, when they get themselves established in an area, they just take over if they're not tamed and contained. But they were originally brought, at least to Sointala on Malcolm Island, by my great-grandfather, Herman Potu. And it's important to wear long sleeves and long pants when you're picking blackberries and you're out in a patch like this, because they have very spiky vines that actually could do damage to your clothes and your body if you're not careful. And it's just another day out here picking fireweed. And it's early morning, so that's a good time to come out here because you can see it's going to be a nice sunny day. And it's a little bit cooler in the morning, so, and also the bugs are just starting to come out now. So, yeah, so I'll show you what I'm doing here. Now you can see here this fireweed down below the stem. I've already trimmed the flowers off it last time I was here, but I leave the unopened buds up above the stem. And you can see last time I was here, I picked the open flowers, which were down here, and these flowers that are currently open were in bud form. Now they're wide open and ready to harvest. Usually I pick everything I need in one go, and then I just leave the rest of the flowers, but I didn't have enough time last time I was over here picking to get everything I need, so I'm going to get what I can today and then leave the rest for the bees. Now these here are wild black raspberries. They look red here, but these ones are unripened. Normally a raspberry when it's red is ripe. However, on these types of raspberries, they turn black when they are ripe. So you can see here are a couple ripe blackberries. And the Latin name for this is Rubus leucodermis. And the characteristic to tell if it's a black raspberry is it usually has a bluish waxy stem. You can see here it's kind of got a bluish color to the stem, and you'll find these when you get to higher elevations on Vancouver Island. I usually don't pick them because I never find a spot where there's a ton of these, but it would be great one day to make a wild black raspberry jelly. And since I'm here, I might as well try one out. So I'm going to try a wild black raspberry. I'm going to have to try another one. Very juicy. Have a nice flavor. Doesn't quite remind me of a raspberry. That one still has that one definitely has a bit of a raspberry flavor, but it's different somehow. It's more juicy. I'm surprised how juicy it is since it doesn't look very juicy. Anyways, I'm going to get back to picking fireweed because I'm getting surrounded by flies. And these here are wild black currants, Ribes americanum. And they also grow when you're out picking on Vancouver Island, but they're never in abundance, so I never get enough of them to make a jelly, but they also would make a really great jelly, and it tastes just like a black currant. Here's a better example of the wild black raspberries. You Let's see. There's a bunch of black ones here. And when I'm over here picking berries, I always come prepared to pick a variety of berries because in the season, they all start to ripen all at once and you might come across a good patch of huckleberries like you see right here. When I'm out picking for red huckleberry, I like to find nice flat spots where you could easily get in the bush. Don't like to do a lot of trudging in the bush because you could dump out your bucket pretty easy, so it's nice to find a spot like this where it's flat, easy ground to walk in. Also, it's full of Labrador teas, so as I'm walking in here, you could really smell it, and it's kind of got a like a eucalyptus kind of smell to it. And this is it here, and underneath there's like a fuzziness to the leaves, and that's where the smell comes from. And that detours a lot of the bugs, which is nice when you're walking around here in the bush picking berries. It's August 14th, 2025, and it hasn't rained in almost a month now, or over a month actually. And it's finally raining, a good rainfall. A lot of this that you see here also is not fog, though the fog is rolling in. It's actually smoke from wildfires down in Port Alberni, southern end of Vancouver Island. But finally, we're getting some much needed rain. All right, that's all I got to say for today. My voice is starting to come back finally. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to follow along my video series. And I'll see you all in the next video. All right, ciao.